الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We thank and we praise Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for affording us an opportunity again. This class is quite long today. Yes, it's long because some of the teachers are absent and some of the teachers are on Umrah, whatever the case may be, and life happened, right? So what we're going to do for this period is, inshallah, for half an hour we'll recite, and for the next half an hour we'll do some theory. Why? Because I think next week the structures or the structure of the class will completely change. Remember that memorization? So today, inshallah, we'll do memorization. We'll do some recitation again at Tabara, and then some theory, and then next week, inshallah, we'll start memorizing. And I think Surah Al-Rahman, yeah, inshallah. Before we get into the recitation, there was just something I wanted to mention. Okay, there's no slides. But if you look at, for example, the first page, right? Or not the first page, that's the exception to the rule. Wherever you find in the Quran a noon sakin, we know what's a noon sakin, right? A noon with the sukoon, right? Or we find a tanween, we know what's a tanween? An, in, un, or bawal letters, what do they call it, right? Wherever we find a tanween, a sukoon or a tanween, or a sakin letter, or a noon sakin or a tanween, right? And after that, you will always pull gunna. You will always pull gunna. What's gunna? See, for example, صافات ويقبض. Right? You always going to pull a gunna. Except in a few instances. So whenever the question comes, you say, is there gunna or isn't there gunna? There's always a gunna. Except if after a noon sakin or a tanween, a letter of the throat appears. What's a letter of the throat? Okay, there's a sequence, right, to make it easy. Hamza, ha, ayn, ha, ghayn, kha. Those are the letters of the throat, right? So whenever one of the letters of the throat comes after a noon sakin or tanween, then there will be no gunna. For example, there was a nice example I saw earlier of both. Yeah. Sawiyan ala salatin mustaqim. It's supposed to be a doctor. Okay. If everybody looks at it, right? Can everybody see it? The screen, right? Everybody understand my handwriting, right? So number one, we find the tanween over here, right? But what do we have after? Ayn, which is the letter of the throat. So because it's a letter of the throat, no gunna will take place here. Exception. I'll call it the exception to the rule, even though it is a rule on its own. Are you with me? It's called izhar, but we'll forget about that. We'll just call it the exception now. And if you look over here, another tanween, and after it is a meme. Or we can say it's not the letter of the throat. Are you with me? Let's just not call it a meme. It's not the letter of the throat. And because it's not the letter of the throat, it will be a gunna. Over here, letter of the throat, no gunna. Any letter of the throat, whether it is hamza, ha, ayn, ha, ghayn, or kha. Any of these letters, if they come afterwards, no gunna. Any other letter, whether it is fa, qaf, kaf, anyone, gunna will take place. Are you with me? So how you make the gunna, what are you hiding? Don't worry about that, just as long as you're making the gunna. That's fine, alright? Now there is an exception, alright? Remember we said this is the exception, but we said actually it's a rule on its own. There is an exception of the lam and the ra. Sometimes they never have gunna as well. Even though they're not letters of the throat. But if a lam or a ra comes after a tanween or a nun sakin, then it will also be no gunna. Are you with me? For example, min ladun. Min ladun. Min ladun. You're not going to say min ladun. You say min ladun. Are you with me? Clear? Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Everybody from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, go. أعوذ بالله. 1, 2, 3, go. Just before we start, was this clear? Right? It was 100% clear. This is basically all the tajweed rules in one. All the gunna that you need to know, it's here. The different types of gunnas are going to be a bit different. You're going to hide and whatever, but a gunna is always going to be there. Yeah? You always say min ladunas or mir rabbik. Nobody's going to say min rabbik. Whether it's there or not, it's going to be difficult to say min ladun. So it's going to say be min ladun. This rule of that rule over there is called idgham. Idgham, where you merge the two. So you're taking the nun sakin, you're putting it into the lam. There's no more nun sakin. Min ladun, you're reading directly into it. Right? Those type of rules. But basically the gunna rules is like that. Simple. Right? Because the reason why I mention this is sometimes we see a shadda on a lam. For example, the lam, for example, over here. Let's just make an example. I don't know if you've heard this before. For example, people recite min ladun or alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Now, so if you ask him why, they tell you no, there's a shadda there. So if there's a shadda there, aren't you supposed to put a gunna? We say no. A gunna only happens with a noon sakin or tanween, and it will always happen except if a letter of the throat appears. Or a lam and a ra, exception to the rule. Right? Everybody together. 1, 2, 3. Bismillah. Tabarak. أعوذ بالله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم وهو العزيز الغفور. الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى
فارجع البصر
هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير. وللذين كفروا بربهم إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاسبا فستعلمون كيف نذير ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نذير أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبضن ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير أمن هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرون إلا في غرور أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقه بل لجوا في أفمن يمشي مكبا على وجهه أهدى أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم قل هو الذي أنشأكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون قل هو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين فلما رأوا زلفة سيئت وجوه الذين كفروا وقيل هذا الذي كنتم به تدعون قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعليه توكلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين قل أرأيتم إن أصبح ماؤكم غورا فمن يأتيكم بماء معين
صدق الله العظيم. أحسنتم ما شاء الله. Still, the ayn, when you're reading the hamza, right, like ta, we must go deeper down. And the ayn, the lam, the tongue must stay inside the mouth. But mashallah, very good. Next week, inshallah, we start memorizing, right? But for us to really take benefit from memorizing, there is something I have to highlight in the class, especially the males, right? You might struggle a bit. Why? Why do you think? Okay, the females have a higher IQ. I'm joking. Why do you think he'll struggle a bit? No, not lazy. Do you know why he'll struggle a bit? Because you don't read loud enough. Alright? So if you're not reading loud, there are 3 channels to the brain. What are those 3 channels? The sight, sound, and voice or audio, whatever you want to call it, right? So the mouth, the ears, and the eyes. So you can be looking at something, but if there's a distorted message going to the brain, then are you going to have a full message in the brain? You're not going to have a complete message in the brain. So you always, you'd wonder, where am I going wrong with my memorization? But the point where you're actually going wrong is you're not reciting loud enough. Are you with me? So, for example, when you must recite it out loud, you can't, the brain, or what you are saying and what you are hearing, you can't relate to it. Are you with me? Why? Because you are reciting soft while you are learning. So now the time when you must recite it out loud, your brain can't relate. It's like, what the hell are you saying? I don't remember saying this. I remember hearing it, yes, but I don't know, my tongue isn't used to saying it. Are you with me? So when we actually get to memorizing next week, inshallah, the guys, you must put yourself out there. You must say it out loud, because if you don't say it out loud, it's never going to go into the brain properly. Because one of the main channels is obviously the mouth. Are you with me? And then whilst we are learning, we all know Surah Al-Rahman to a certain extent, right? Alright? But what we're going to do is we're going to try to work out things in Surah Al-Rahman. There's something that stands out in Surah Al-Rahman. What is that? Everybody knows Fabi'i Ala, right? Anybody knows the in-between Fabi'i Alas? We does Rabbul Mashriqayni, we does Khalaq al-Insana min salsalin, we is Maraj al-Bahrain, in yakhruju minhum al-lu'lu, in kullu man alayha fan, in walaw al-jawar al-munshaat, in kullu man alayha, and then, let me just check, something like that. Are you with me? So, a major part of memorization, I wasn't able to tell this class this, but it's an opportunity for you to just think about it in the week, is working out in the brain. Are you with me? The brain is it's an amazing tool. It's about working out. And we all do this in everything in our life, man. Whether we have children, whether we have family members, whether we have cars, whether we have meetings planned in the brain, we're always doing this, but not always in a systemized manner, or systematic manner at least. Are you with me? So when we're memorizing, this is going to take place. A systematic manner of moving things around in the brain. So you're going to know the first page, you know the second page, you know the third page, you know how it ends, you know the fourth page, how it ends. But it can only happen, number one, when you put yourself out there, the guys especially, they have to recite loudly. And number two, do you know why the guys don't recite loudly? Do you know why they don't recite loudly? There is a word. It's quiet. It's a type of ego. We're scared to make mistakes. Because if we make mistakes, we look weak. And we look vulnerable, and we can't be vulnerable, we're men. But if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to achieve that. So you must go out there, put yourself out there, make mistakes, hack, and whatever, and inshallah you're going to achieve it. Ladies are much more open to that. Okay, they don't mind because they're excited to learn. Guys, is learning and embarrassing? No, rather not learn. But we have to put ourselves into that embarrassing state at one time or the other. Then what is I saying? Compartmentalizing in the brain. So for example, you're busy with a site or whatever work you are doing. You already know that 3 o'clock you have to be at a meeting, 2 o'clock you have to be here, 1 o'clock is lunchtime, what you're going to eat for lunch. It's always happening in the brain. Constantly, hey, this week I must go to the bank, I must check this, I must check my credit score, I must check this, everything is just crazy. I'm still thinking about that. Nobody knows. You just look like you're smiling at everybody, but how much things is happening in the brain? But in a systematic way, no. The reason why I think about it all the time is because it's not in a systematic way. It's not written down or planned properly so that you know what, I always have a reminder. Are you with me? But the Quran, the way we're going to memorize, is also not like that. Are you with me? It can't be haphazard, man. It's not just about repeating and then eventually we're going to say this whole song and it's going to come out in one string. Everybody with me? When we're memorizing, it's also going to be brain work, right? So we'll use the opportunity, inshallah, to demonstrate. We can demonstrate because when we're going to do it again next week and then we might do it all together, whatever the case may be, then we can't demonstrate. So I just wanted to demonstrate just to show you how it works, inshallah. Is that fine? Is there any questions before we continue? Okay, the methodology is very, very simple. In simplicity, there is ease, there is comfort, and there is success. We don't want to be extravagant or over the top. We don't want to use difficult jargon. Simple, khalas. That's how we do it, right? There's a boy who came to me now in the week. So, yeah, this boy, anyways, his parents came. The one guy in the first year, he sent him there, anyways, they ended up there. So he came, he says, he learns like more than 2 hours, he learns like 1.5 pages. More than 2 hours, say like 2.5 hours. What takes him to learn? 1.5 pages in the evening, right? Then in the morning when he wakes up, he must wake up 5 o'clock so that he can relearn it and revise it. Everybody with me, right? So I was sitting with him and even the first thing we have to do is take it out of our mind, the negativity that we can't learn. Because we all can learn, right? Anyways, so I show him how to do it, whatever. The next week come, so he came again, he came now Thursday. So that same amount, he learned in 45 minutes. So he was 12 Jews, so I tell him, you can finish the end of the year. You look at me and say, what? I tell him 4 Jews every month. He said, what? I say, okay, let's break it down further. If you do this, he's like, wow, now I can't do it. So every month, 4 Jews, that's 20 Jews after 5 months. And you finish. So how do you get there? You get there by breaking it down to the smallest piece. So that's how we memorize. We break it down to the smallest piece that we know. Now obviously we can't do letters. We can't do a, la, pa, it's not going to work. So what is the smaller than that? Or just bigger than that? Words. Not ayahs, words. You with me? So that's, if you want to memorize Quran, break it down into words. And when you break it down into words, easy flowing after that. Then the brain must just work. Are you with me? Okay. So basically what we're going to do is this, right? We don't have a picture of Ar-Rahman in front of us, but we're going to do Tabarak. Let's do the last page. Everybody see the last page? We have to start? No, on that one. Is that? Okay, Qul innamal. Okay, right? Can everybody see Qul innamal? Remember guys, if we don't read loud, we're not going to get anywhere. So we must recite loud. There's no choice in the matter. You don't recite loud, you can't memorize. It's simple. No, and even if you have children as we have, then they tell you, I don't like to read loud. I like to learn soft. I say, you like to bacha soft, you're not learning. You're just making a problem for yourself. Everybody ready? Right? Okay. But remember, you must follow exactly what I'm saying, right? You must follow exactly what I'm saying. So what am I saying? Number one, we must recite loud. So what is loud? Loud is audible so that you can listen to yourself. Now we're lucky we have a crowd with us so that A can help B and B can help C and everybody can help each other. Why? Because if you can't hear yourself, you can at least hear everybody around you. So that's the benefit of that, right? That's number one. Number two, when we're looking inside, we must look outside. We mustn't lie to ourselves. So you can't look inside and look outside at the same time. But when we're looking outside, we mustn't do this. Don't do that. Because then we lie to ourselves. Are you with me? Now I don't want you to end off Tabarak. That's the reason why I didn't want to memorize in Tabarak. Because you're going to end up doing that, man. Because you're familiar with Tabarak. Are you with me? That's number one. If you do make a mistake, what must you do? Check afterwards. But how are you going to continue? Jamil. Good. If you make a mistake, is there a function at the machine or something? Oh. Right? Right? Good sisters? Almost at time, don't worry. If you make a mistake, what must you do? The first thing you do is stop, look inside. Don't continue and be unsure of yourself. If you make a mistake or you're unsure, check what it is whilst you are learning at least. Check, say for example, قُلْ إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ or عُلْمُ. قُلْ إِنَّمَا but you're not sure. What you do? Now you read, I can't remember anything. No. You just look inside. Oh, it's the ilmu. You say it loud. You affirm it to the mind. Now you start again from the beginning. Now while you're starting with قُلْ إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ, قُلْ إِنَّمَا, you are keeping ilmu in the mind. You're thinking about ilmu to a certain extent. Obviously you can't think about it 100% because you're reading also. But now you read قُلْ إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَإِنَّمَا okay. قُلْ إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَإِنَّمَا أَنَا. So no أَنَا of أَنَا. Oh, it's أَنَا. I won't forget this, it's أَنَا. قُلْ إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَإِنَّمَا أَنَا نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. You understand? Everybody understand that, right? Then there is something in the sunnah that we learn from the Prophet ﷺ. What is it? They always say it's a sunnah number 3. Right? Let's not go into the details of where it comes from, whatever. But you would find this in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ 3. There's something special about 3, the number 3. Alright? Hey? Alright? Oh, there's something special about the number 3. Right? The brain, if we train it 3 times, or we say something 3 times, it's very little chance for it to leave the brain. Are you with me? 3 times. But obviously, when we're concentrating properly, right? So we're going to say a word 3 times looking inside, and then 3 times looking outside. But the brain must work all the time. So it's not about saying the word. It's about saying it loud, listening, and thinking, and looking, and whatever. Right? All of those things work together. You can't call a peppermint chocolate a peppermint tart. Can you call it a peppermint tart? You can't. But you take the peppermint chocolate, you mix it with the caramel and the tennis biscuits. Doesn't that become a Milo pudding? After it's Milo, and then it can become a tart. Are you with me? So all of these things, what do they have to do? They have to be combined together. Now it's not rocket science, it's simple, but they have to be combined. But with me? Okay. So when we are going to look inside, everybody look inside. No, you don't have to look now. But when I say look outside, nobody must look inside. What you do is, you lean onto the person next to you, if you don't know what it is. Are you with me? But if you say it loud enough and the brain is working, you'll see, inshallah, progress going forward. But with me? Is there any questions? Is it clear? Okay, Jamil. Remember, I was saying 3 times here. I mentioned 3 times. If you explain it properly, no? Did I finish your explanation? Okay. So it will be 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Then we take another word, the next word. 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Then we take those 2 words, 3 times inside, 3 times outside. The third word, 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Then 3 words. Then the 4th word, 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Then all 4 words, 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Then the 5th word, 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Then all 5 words, 3 times inside, 3 times outside. So in your mind, you're thinking that's slow, right? It sounds slow. But when you come to the last letter of this verse, no matter how long it is, you know the verse. You're not going to come, ik moet heel dag baca, om het daar te hou. That's what people tell you in the memorizing, right? You experienced this before, right? You try maybe after Fajr, you have some time, you're feeling a bit holy now, it's Saturday, you don't have to go sleep, now you baca. But for the rest of the day, what you're doing, you're checking on your phone, the whole time makes salah, but you're thinking about what you learn. You come after salah, checking it, back, I can see it, Asr time's the same thing. Well, then what is your day turning into? A stress part, all day you're stressing. But if you break it down like this, that verse, you memorize it now, you know the verse. You come at the end of the page, you join the words together, you know that page. That's why your children or children are doing hifz. It's very difficult for them to inspire other children. Because they're always looking stressed out. Did you ever see a Hafiz child like smiling? He's happy. He's already getting ball 12. Because he's stressed, man. But why is he stressed? Because of that reason. Are you with me? So he thinks he's going faster because he's taking bigger chunks and whatever the case may be, but actually he's going slower. Are you with me? Okay. So 3 times is not 3 times outside, right? I'm going to say the word once and then everybody does it 3 times. There's 3 times outside. Everybody with me? I'm not going to repeat the word 3 times, 3 times. Everybody with me? So remember, loud, listen to yourself and look intensely. Right? Okay. So the qul is on the other side, right? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Qul. So now you have to say 3 times, right? 1, 2, 3. Bismillah. Okay, 3 times outside. Innamal. 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Outside. Now we take the 2 together. Look inside. Qul innamal. Look inside, look inside. Everybody look inside. Again. One more time. Now outside. Ilmu. 3 times inside, 3 times outside. قل إنما العلم 3 times inside. Again. Again. 3 times outside. عند الله. Look inside. عند الله. عند الله. عند الله. Outside. عند الله. عند الله. عند الله. قل إنما. قل إنما العلم عند الله. قل إنما العلم عند الله. قل إنما العلم عند الله. Outside. قل إنما العلم عند الله. قل إنما العلم عند الله. قل إنما العلم عند الله. Okay, pause. Don't look inside, don't look inside, don't go look inside. Don't look inside. Who knew this from before? Okay, a few. Who never knew it? Did you memorize it now? How does it feel? Now, if you just take a couple of moments, even if it's 5-10 minutes, and we try to recite it afterwards without even going over it, we'll be able to recite it. So what does that mean? It means that whatever effort you make, like that was a bit of effort, right? So if at home, if you're going to apply effort in trying to memorize, you're going to memorize it and remember it afterwards. So your effort isn't in vain. Obviously, you're going to get reward from Allah, but it's at least going to show fruit from your effort, that you sat and you can actually read what you've memorized. Everybody with me? Right? Try to recite it together. Nobody look inside, right? Bismillah. Qul innamal. 1, 2, 3, go. Qul innamal ilmu inda Allah. Again. Qul innamal ilmu inda Allah. Shamil. Can you still picture it? Yeah. Everybody picture it? Just take a moment, just relax, picture it. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَإِنَّمَا 3 times. وَإِنَّمَا this a point? Why must you look inside? Yeah, so I have people, they're doing this wa innama, they're looking outside wa innama. So just did it once inside. Why is it important to do it 3 times inside? Like the voice, similar, but you can't build a picture without a picture. Are you with me? So you're not going to be able to picture something without creating a picture for that thing. That is the reason why we say 3 times inside, then 3 times outside. Is anybody with me? Alright, so don't, even though you're excited to say outside, make sure that you follow the steps of 3 times inside, 3 times outside. Now what you're going to do now in the week, inshallah, is if you practice it, right, and you try it now in the week with something else, right, what is going to happen is there's going to be parts where you are not going to concentrate, where your concentration breaks naturally, right? Or where you're going to just follow a different type of way. I promise you, at those points, that is where you will make the mistake. Generally. For example, the students, if they recite to you, you can tell them this is where you never did one word at a time. They'll tell you, how do you know? I said, because at that juncture, at that point, uncertainty, you can hear the uncertainty in somebody. If anybody go Tarawih, okay, the guys read Tarawih, the ladies go. I don't know if you've heard a Hafid reciting, and then there's a point you as the listener behind, you're not Hafid, but you can hear he's uncertain. Maybe he's not even making a mistake, because he's getting through it. He's like, Alhamdulillah, in his mind, Alhamdulillah, got through it, no mistakes. But you can hear and you can feel the uncertainty. Why? Because at that point over there, it might have been, there was a lapse in concentration when he was memorizing. Are you with me? So the same thing would happen to us also. If it's not 100% there, that's why we try to do 5-minute bursts at a time, 5 to 10 minute bursts, and then we take a break for a minute or two, just to get the brain again, because there's quite a bit of concentration that goes into it. But do you have to be special to do it? No, you just follow the technique. And what is the technique, guys, especially? You must recite loudly. Alright? Even though we're going to make mistakes, we have to make mistakes on the journey. Okay? Okay. Wa innama. Bismillah. Wa innama. 3. Wa innama. Wa innama. When we memorize like this, because it's a mud, so we recite it one a mud. Wa innama. Alright? Okay. Ana. 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 Bismillah. Ana. Okay, this is a different alif, right? This alif is to show that it's ana. Remember, we did various types of an, inna, anna, an masdariya. We did that? Okay, we know it's inna. Okay, do you know what's an? Okay, an is that. Then we have an that comes before a fi'l. We know all of those ans. Okay, so you get different types of ans. Alright? So to differentiate between those an and this an, they put the alif after this an, to show that this an over here is actually ana, even though you don't read it. You know what I mean? They put it there to show you that you mustn't read it. Just to show you that this ana over here is actually the ana. That's like this. What name is that? Omar. What name is this? Amr. This is Amr. That is Umar. Why did they put a waw over there? To differentiate that this one is Amr and this is Umar. The waw has nothing to do with the word. Are you with me? That's how the Arabs work. Because back in the days it wasn't ayu. It was just read like that. So if somebody read, that's why, for example, the Quran, that's how it was first. What word is that? Why can't it be ya'lamun? So noon with the ya'lamun also. Are you with me? So that ana would have looked like this. So if you had it like this, can you see the confusion? So an could be inna depending on the word that's coming afterwards. But you will never be able to say if it's ana or not. But if you look here, can you see? I'm just trying to take you back like to old school Arabic. Like very, very classical. Where there was no dots even. Okay, with me? Can you see? If you look at this over here, it can be inna, anna, an, anything, depending on the word that's coming afterwards. Alright? But this over here, to completely take it away from this over here, they did this. Are you with me? Okay, that's the first I can explain because it's not me that put it there, it's them. It's the same over here. Like with this wow over here. They just put it over there to differentiate between the two.
Then how do you find
I think that's the only place in the Quran. That's I, ana, I. What's that ana? Bismillah?
You know, in verse 5, there's also an
Maaf?
wa'aqtadna.
Huh?
Verse 5.
Yes?
So this is not the same as this one then.
Nope. Ana is a word on its own. Ana. Wa'a'tadna. That na at the end over there is what? We. That is a what is dhamir. This ana is a dhamir, but it's on its own. It's not attached to a word. If you want to see the ana dhamir, how are you going to see it? Katabtu or kataba? No, katabtu or aktub. Bear with me. Where were we here? وَإِنَّمَا أَنَا 3 times. Outside. Nadir. Oh, sorry. It's Nadirum, no? Nadirum. 3 times. Outside 3 times. وإنما أنا. Inside, right? Mubin. Memory. 3 times outside, right? Yep, sure. Say it already. Was it said 3 times outside? Oh, maaf, I was my own word. You see what happened? Bismillah wa innama. See some people looking outside, right? Supposed to be inside. Outside. Shamil. That's 3 times. Oh. I knew that. Bismillah fa qul innamal ilmu 3 times. Till the inna. Inside. Outside. Shall we pause? Can only the ladies just don't look inside? Just the ladies inside. Bismillah. No, outside.
قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين.
Anyone else?
قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين.
Jamil. Where does the qul start in the verse? On the previous page, right? Okay.